there. The topic today is recognizing stroke. You don't need to be a doctor or a paramedic, but you and I, as simple human beings, non-doctors, non-paramedics, can save by recognizing the stroke at the right time. How is that possible? And that's what I'm going to share with you today. Please listen to this and please share with as many friends and family members because it can definitely save the person's life. How did I know about this? A friend of mine sent it to me and I thought I should share this with you. Let me give you an instance for example, to start. During a party, a friend stumbled and took a little fall. She assured everyone that she was fine and just tripped over a brick because of her new shoes. They offered to call the ambulance, which she declined. They got her cleaned up and got her a new plate of food while she appeared a bit shaken. She went about enjoying herself the rest of the evening. Her husband called later telling everyone that his wife had been taken to the hospital and she passed away 2 hours later. She had actually suffered a stroke at the party, and had they known how to identify the signs of a stroke, perhaps she would be in this world still living. Some don't die, they just end up in a hopeless, helpless condition instead. However, you and I, as I said, can save someone's life if we were able to recognize a stroke at the appropriate time. A neurologist actually says that if he can get a stroke with a victim within 3 hours, he can actually reverse the effects of a stroke totally. The trick was getting a stroke recognized, diagnosed, and then getting the patient medically cared for within 3 hours, which is very often very tough. So how do you recognize a stroke? 3 steps. S, T, R. What does S, T, R stand for? Let me come to that in a while. Sometimes symptoms of a stroke are difficult to identify. Unfortunately, the lack of awareness therefore spells disaster. The stroke victim may suffer severe brain damage when people nearby fail to recognize the symptoms of a stroke. However, doctors and neurologists say that a bystander can recognize a stroke by asking 3 simple questions. And this is where the words S, T, R is what you need to remember. S stands for smile. So therefore, ask the individual to smile. T stands for talk. T-A-L-K. Ask the person to speak a simple sentence. What's your name? Or, it's a sunny day, something like that. Or how was your lunch? Or something like that. Ask a question and see whether the person responds properly. R, ask him or her to raise both arms. If he or she has any trouble with any one of these stars, call the ambulance and describe the symptoms to the dispatcher, i.e. the person who comes into the ambulance. There's another sign of a stroke. Ask the person to stick out the tongue. If the tongue is crooked or if it goes to one side or the other, that is also an indication of a stroke. And I have seen this myself with a near and dear person of mine. A prominent cardiologist says if everyone who gets this status or hears this, listens to it and shares it, you can bet that at least one life will be saved. So to conclude, please remember the 3 important words: S as in smile, T as in talk, R as in asking the person to raise both arms, and finally, also ask the person to stick out their tongue. And if the tongue is slanted or is it crooked to one side, then they are symptoms of a stroke. It can be all of these or it can be any one of these. I hope you will share it with as many people as possible. Thank you.